Okay, we got done with the second one with New Moon. So right off the bat, I will say as a movie, I think this is better than the first one. As an experience, it's not as good. It's worse.
I don't think as a movie it's even
As
better.
a movie, I enjoyed watching this one more than the first one.
Are you high?
I think it's a
Dude, we just
better
finished and we
movie.
go, oh shit, I didn't even think about the songs. We didn't even pay attention to the songs. We laughed.
Yeah, Bella's Lullaby was in this not that much, I've noticed.
We barely
It
even
was
talked
in
about...
It was in it for like maybe 5 seconds. There was just the main motif, the main piano motif, but that was it.
We had one shot that I thought was really good. There's some of the like werewolf transformation scenes were pretty epic, and the fight scenes were better.
That's true. I think as the series goes along, it probably gets a lot better.
The Edward
last
fight
one
scene
really
was
good.
better, but it was still really kind of dumb because they just kept choking him out. Well, but like we made fun of the shot so much. Like there was the fucking Victoria going under the water.
What? Oh yeah.
When the guy did a backflip off.
Yeah, a lot
thing.
of the scenes, like the CGI
cinematography
and
was so
stuff,
bad.
is so bad. Like when
Then again, we didn't have the shaky ass dude.
That's also true. Like we laughed out loud at the part when Jacob came and like threw rocks at her window and he wall jumps off the house.
Cool. That was cool.
And the tree, that's laughable.
No, that was cool.
And then when he
that.
jumps down and he lands like anime pose on the ground.
Okay, yeah, maybe that was
Both of that's all laughable.
No, I get it was great. Okay.
When the shot of the one werewolf cliff diving, how it like follows his body as he jumps and then like does a flip and goes down.
Okay, the biggest part that made this movie, this did have one really good thing that they didn't do. It wasn't blue the whole time.
That's also true. That's a lot.
The audio
better,
mixing
actually.
was still terrible, but it was better. I would say.
That's true.
I mean, it was still kind of turn up and down the volume, but it wasn't every time they talked.
Yeah.
Edward has a incoherent mumble. Anytime Bella and him talked, I did not hear a single word. Okay. I think the biggest problem of this movie is they wanted to give Jacob the Edward treatment of introducing the werewolves, talking about their like culture and all their powers, but it was so weighed down with Bella caring about Edward that it's like the Edward subplot should have been a different movie, because then instead of thinking about Jacob and trying to actually get invested, you're spending half the movie talking about Edward, wondering where Alice is. Like, there's not that much romantic development. It's better. The romance was way better than the first one, in my opinion. It wasn't them
true.
talking about mitosis.
That's true.
And then fucking the car.
I think as a story, I enjoy this one more because there's more than just, oh, it's just people falling in love just because. Like this is more than that.
The problem is they only gave Jacob. They didn't give Jacob any other redeeming qualities. Like you have. The Carlyles have a lot more characters to work with. No, it's the Carlyles.
It's one guy.
I don't give a shit. Like, I don't like Edward, but I like Alice and Carlisle. And so there's more stuff there. With Jacob, the side characters, I don't even know the people's names. The other wolves' names.
Yeah, me neither.
They fricked up the climax again, where they just introduce a random villain.
Yeah, the climax,
They
there
keep
wasn't
doing
much.
that.
Actually,
So
I liked it more than the first one still. Reason being that, so I already know elements of Twilight. I know the Volturi are a big thing in the later installments, and I was excited actually to see when they showed up. I didn't think it was going to be in this one. I thought it might be in Eclipse or Breaking Dawn Part 1. And I was super surprised that they show up in the second one, but I guess it makes sense because of how much prominence they gain leading up to Breaking Dawn Part 2. Especially in Breaking Dawn Part 2 and the climax of that, knowing what happens.
Okay.
So I really liked that they added the Volturian, but still, I agree that they did just kind of feel like a shoehorn in the climax.
The only bad thing that the Volturi did was Edward showed a picture to Bella, and then they had a flashback in him showing the picture of him decapitating someone, and that was it.
Yeah, and the problem with that, too, was that was at the start of the movie, and then they didn't talk about the Volturi at all until the last half hour.
Jacob saying he's arranging for a funeral was probably the coldest line.
That's another thing.
That was so fucking
the
cool.
fact
That was so cool.
That was such a bitch move. Though.
I know, but
the fact
Edward's
that Jacob makes Edward think that Bella's dead.
I don't get. Okay, let's be honest. Edward's not good for Bella. Neither of them are good. I don't care because I hate Bella. I prefer Jacob.
So at this point, then, would you say Team Jacob?
I would say Team Alice and Carlisle.
You can't keep saying that.
No.
Okay, it's either Team Jacob or Edward.
I hate both of them. I'll be honest.
I agree that neither are good, but still, that's
at least I can
that's the question.
Fucking understand what Jacob's saying.
Yeah.
Okay, and then also they paralleled Jacob. Jacob got fucked this whole movie. After the movie, during the movie thing, where he's like, "I won't leave you," and then the next scene is him being like, "I'm too bad for you."
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't know how to write.
Yeah, right. Legit, right.
This was
afterwards,
three
then
different.
he's like,
no, this was three different
I'm
movies in one. It felt like they were trying to combine fucking Edward and him leaving, trying to set up the stupid Dracula people.
The Volturi.
Try to introduce Jacob and have a romance subplot while keeping tension. But then it's you don't need Jacob to add tension because the tension is already there, and Bella doesn't like Jacob. She's using him to see Edward, which that was also stupid. The whole freaking ghost Edward the whole time.
Oh yeah, that they never addressed that either. Actually, they never said that that was Edward. I guess it's just sort of you just have to infer that that's the case. That he has a power that he can just appear to her as mist or whatever. But yeah, they
also,
never talked about that.
When
never
Bella
said
went
that
to
was
freaking wherever, Italy or wherever, did we just have to assume she had a passport? She just got through TSA?
I mean, I get.
This was post 9/11, bro. Can't just walk in, be like, "Oh, I'm going to stop my."
Well, it's not hard to go out of the country.
It is if you don't have a passport. Which who has
maybe
a passport?
She does.
If you live in freaking Forks.
If you live in a fictional town in Washington.
Any town in Washington is fictional. They're so small.
So,
Okay, Charlie deserves better.
Yeah, that's a recurring theme. I think, he just has to kind of just stand there stand by while all this crap happens to Bella. The last movie, it's just oh yeah, we drove to Phoenix in the middle of the night
went to Italy
to go fight vampires. This time it's we went to Italy.
For 3 days.
Yeah, for 3 days.
Well, I
to go try to stop my
boyfriend
from committing suicide.
After I freaking got almost attacked by werewolves. Also, why do the werewolves keep their pants, but they don't keep their shirts?
Did Victoria just get away?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, well then she better show up again. They can't just they can't just have her get away and then not show up then in Eclipse or Breaking Dawn. Although I have a feeling they might do that, but that they shouldn't.
I hated that. They didn't talk about the wolf's powers or the community at all. I didn't understand why Bella slapped the one wolf and got mad at him. And why Jacob was all pissed and like, I'm too dangerous for you. Also,
Well, they're just trying to do this Edward plot again.
I know, and it's bad because
with
they already
Jacob.
have Edward. It should be freaking Jacob is actually nice to her, but then I don't know. They needed a different plot for Jacob. Also, they didn't talk about the mind linking thing with the wolf.
Yeah, that's true. That was just a passing thing that they said, that the fact that all of them can like tell what each other's thinking.
Yeah, Bella was probably the worst person in this movie. Like when Jacob confronts her and she goes, like he gets mad and then she goes, Edward, read his mind to see if he's going to attack me. Like, what a
Yeah.
bitch, bro. I hated her. Rosalie's a loser still. Alice is...
Rosalie didn't do anything in this movie. I don't think she even said a word in this movie. She was just there.
No, she said no. She said, no, I don't want you to...
Oh, did she?
She said, no, I don't want you to be a vampire. And she also caused Edward to know that Alice had a vision of... Which, what a bitch move to call your vampire brother and be like, girlfriend died, whoopsie doodle. I know you've been depressed and you left for a month. Like, what was she even think? Oh, that wasn't written well at all. And then Carlisle being, Edward being like, don't do this to me, Carlisle. And Carlisle's like, I can't lose my son, so I'll agree to turn whoever.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you mad, Edward? Which they didn't explain why Edward's so stuck up about turning her.
Well, they did.
What
It's
was
the
it?
fact that her soul she'll be damned to hell if she becomes a vampire. Which also is kind of strange to think, because what if someone's involuntarily turned a vampire and then they're a good person? Are they still going to hell?
You mean like what Carlisle
Do they
did to
just-
all of these people?
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Carlisle literally did that to Edward. Edward was dying of polio.
That's a good... Maybe that... You know what? I think they probably will address that later.
No,
Or
I think it's just
they'll
funny.
probably just talk
I think it's
about...
funny to think that Carlisle thinks he's being helpful, but he's accidentally
Carlisle's
turning
casually
everyone.
sending everyone to hell. He's actually torturing them for all eternity instead of saving them.
Please. Oh my god, but he's such a himbo about it. He's like, he gets done turning him and is like, I did it good.
Yeah. And until they all eventually die, it's like, oh, we're all
That's
burning together.
There were a few better shots. I liked when Bella was underwater and then she like ran her hand through the illusion of Edward and then all got squashy and stuff. I really did not like this movie, if I'm being honest. I didn't even think it was that enjoyed. I did not enjoy this as the first one.
Like I said, I as a movie, I would rather watch this one.
Fuck no. No.
There was a lot. This movie is a lot less iconic though than the first. The only iconic scene I can think of is when she's sitting in the window in her bedroom for 3 months because she's depressed that Edward left. Because that's the only part of this movie that like I knew happened beforehand.
You know what was also really good? I love it. all of Anna Hendrick's lines this whole movie.
Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. My favorite is she goes, I know you're depressed, or what was it? He was like,
I don't remember.
It gave the opinion of like, I know you're depressed and all, but like, what the fuck? It was
Yeah.
Also, she was talking about how Bella hung out with those creeps.
Oh yeah, when she goes on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
With the weirdos.
Yeah. Oh my god, I loved her in this movie. What else? Oh, the whole fact that Alice couldn't run with Bella looking for Edward. At first I was like, oh, that makes sense because Edward can read Alice's mind but not Bella's. But then you
but then you were like, wait a minute. Can't he smell Bella?
Can't he like smell her from miles away? And
exactly, yeah. Because all the vampires are always like, oh, that heavenly scent. That's Bella.
My favorite is Bella pushes him out of the light, and then he goes, heaven.
Yeah, he thinks he's dead. This man thinks he instantly has died and is in heaven.
He would have, probably. Oh, no. You know what the funniest thing was? Them leaving all the Dracula dudes, and the tour guide walks by, and then I go,
oh, yeah.
Wait, are they gonna die? And then you hear screams.
Yeah, that's wild.
That was...
I think, yeah, like, I really like the Volturi in this movie. I think the problem with it is that they didn't set them up beforehand in the movie. Like, I mean, throughout the movie, because they were at the beginning, but then they don't say anything about them later.
I think the Volturi and all this Edward subplot should have been a second movie. And instead of having 3 months of time skip, he could have had development for Jacob during all that time. And he could have had another freaking movie talking about, oh, Jacob is back or some shit. It should have been fucking, like, dealing with Jacob, and then, like, her trying to get in with the wolves while Edward's gone. And then the whatever conflict with the wolves with the vampire. And then at the end with Rosalie, the ending of this movie should have been Alice is back. And the next movie should have been Volturi.
That's true.
They needed to split this movie into
what happens in the next one? That's my question now. Because you know what? Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I thought happened in Eclipse happens in New Moon. Like, the Volturi show up. I thought that happened in Eclipse. They talk about getting married. I thought that happened in Eclipse. They set in stone that she's gonna become a vampire. I thought that was an Eclipse. It's like, I have no idea what happens in the next one.
Alice should have changed her. Okay. Jacob was done so dirty in so many ways in this movie. This is supposed to be Jacob's movie, right? Mm-hmm. And then why is it 80% talking about Edward?
Yeah.
Being depressed about Edward.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think that would be better if they did that than where this
Edward's
movie...
fucking ghost probably had more lines than Jacob.
It'd be better, yeah, if this movie, Edward was just... He was at the start and then he's gone. He's just not in it for the rest of it. Yeah, and then Alice shows up at the end, and then that's it.
And
then next movie starts off right there.
Stuff, and then the main conflict is just her getting in with the wolves, and like the sub conflicts is her debating whether she's actually likes Jacob or is using him for Edward. That would have been a whole movie, and it would have been great. They decided to add Edward.
That would have been a good plot. That would have been
and then the Volturi could have been a good second thing, because I'm sure they could have done other things with Volturi. Another thing, the main guy who was like talking.
The main Volturi.
Yeah, he should have been a secondary dude. The other black-haired dude who looked like Dracula.
He looks like he looks like I thought he looked like, I don't know if it was Eddie Van Halen, but he looked like someone like that. The fact that his hair is like wavy and shit like that. I was like, yeah.
Could have been so much more things. What they could have done is they could have had Edward work with the Volturi and had the Volturi be corrupt, and then the whole next movie would have been Bella and Alice looking in Italy to find the Volturi and Edward, and then like they show up to the Volturi, then the Volturi like hides Bella, and that's the fucking conflict, is trying to see Edward with them.
Huh.
Because then that would have extended the plot. It would have made Edward fucking off to who knows where actually makes sense, because he thought he was doing good.
They went to fucking Rio. They went to Rio de Janeiro, fucking Brazil. So far away.
So stupid. God, it had so much potential. Like, I feel like this has too much plot and the last movie had too little.
I can see that.
Like, the romance was surface level. The main conflict was shoved in. It was better than this one.
It's better. The conflict in this one is better than the one than in the last one, I think.
No. The last one, throughout the whole movie, they at least had people dying and disappear. So you know these people weren't fucking.
Yeah, but that also happens over like the course of. That's like a whole 5 seconds that each one of those
I know it
takes
wasn't
in the
good,
first
but I'm
movie.
saying it's better than the Volturi being in one fucking flashback.
That's true.
Like, Bella didn't even know what the dude could have done to her.
I think that makes sense though, because of the fact that they are more of a threat later in the series. I think it's good, sort of, that how they introduce them. It's just like, oh yeah, these people are here and like they could do bad things, but like they won't really do anything. And then they kind of like tease it with the fact of like them leading all the humans over there. And then like that's the last thing you see of the Volturi, is you hear all the humans screaming that they're killing. And so then it makes you think like, oh shit, they mean business. Because then in the next ones, in the next series, in the next movies, then it really like shows what the Volturi does. I think it's a good teaser for them.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been the main plot of this. It should have been side plotted.
It should have been in a different movie.
It should have been
I agree,
climax with something with Jacob, and then after the climax with Jacob, Bella leaves Jacob wounded or whatever to go save Edward. That's what could have happened.
Okay.
Because then you're coming down from the high of, oh shit, Jacob and her did a crazy thing, and then, oh shit, Jacob is injured. Oh shit, Edward's back. And then her choice, you don't even have the last scene, her choice would have been abandoning Jacob for Edward. That would have been cooler. And the Valtteri thing could have been quicker.
Yeah, well, probably like half of this review has been us like talking about what it should have been rather than actually what it was.
The plot was so sporadic. It was so bad. I feel like at a lot of points I felt like I was watching like the build-up of the first few scenes of a rom-com, and then other parts I was like, it was just such a, it had all the bad parts of the sequel. You know what I mean? Where it's like trying to introduce new plots, it's trying to call back to other plots while trying to feel like it's different, but then there's just no exciting thing. Also, Bella being stupid and forgetting about the werewolf part of Jacob's tale is stupid. Jacob being 16 makes no sense.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
I didn't
reason.
realize that
There's no
Jacob's
reason.
16.
Like, there's no plot reason for that. It's just to be weird. The Romeo and Juliet callback reference thing is, in my opinion, I could tell it was going to happen for the start, and I thought it was kind of stupid. I think it's first year movie film producer. Oh, I think this is so innovative and edgy and cool, but it's not. That's what it felt like to me.
Okay, well, the final two things we have to answer then still. I haven't said Team Jacob or Team Edward. I'm changing my mind. I said Jacob last time. I'm saying Edward. Because Jacob's a bitch. Because he told Edward that Bella's dead. For that fact, Edward.
Dude, he told Edward that Bella was dead because Edward has been nothing but bad for Bella. That's one thing that I did point out. Every time in the first movie Bella got saved, it was because Edward caused it. Except the car thing. But that was neither of theirs fault. All the times that Jacob saved Bella's ass has been her own damn fault.
That's true. But that's her fault. That's not Edward's.
Where I almost died last time from vampires. Oh shit, there's a vampire. Oh, I'm gonna go fucking. What else did she do? Jump off this fucking water brick and then hit my head on the fucking mountain like a dumbass.
I was reminded during this movie of what Jacob does in the last movie.
I don't care.
And I won't say that it contributes to me saying Team Edward, but it makes me lean towards that point.
I don't care. I'm talking about right now. Edward's a bitch. I'm not Team Jacob.
Jacob's did a bitch move, is what I'm saying.
I think Jacob did a move that arguably is better for Bella. Because Bella was on the up. She just needed to get over Edward. I'm sorry. But, like, Jacob was so much better for her. God, she just had a bad choice in men.
Okay, then.
I think. I want to say Jacob because I think there's more potential. And I think. Okay, I think if they did take my idea and split the Volturi crap with Edward and Jacob into its own movie, I would 1,000% say Jacob.
Yeah, I would have said Jacob too then.
Because this is. The only problem is that Jacob's relationship didn't have any time to develop, which is saying a lot because Edward's relationship was so forced and ham-fisted. It was, stay away from me, stay away from me. Oh my god, I can't get away from you and we're fighting vampires. I'm saying Edward very begrudgingly. If Alice and Carlisle wasn't part of the picture, it would be Jacob forever.
Okay, then the last thing. What rate it out of 10?
Oh, this one?
Yeah.
I gave the last one was 7.
Did you?
Yes.
Is that? I thought you said 6.
No.
Okay.
No, I think I said.
No, you said you were gonna give it a 7, but like then it became 6. It was definitely more than. It was over 5 because I gave it 5.
I think I gave it a 6.
Yeah.
I think I said as a movie it's a 3.
As an experience it's 6. I think that is what you said. So.
It might have
okay, what do you say about this one?
I think the first one's a 7 in my eyes. I think this one. It could have had so much more potential. I'd say, as a movie, 3.5. But if I can't do decimals, I'll round it down. I think it is better than Twilight as a movie. movie. I would say like cinematography wise, that's the only, and color grading. But soundtrack was not as good. Plot was so shit, which is saying a lot because I felt the first plot was lacking. I don't know. I feel like this movie, I'm viewing it more as like a fanfic where it's like I'm filling in gaps of like, oh, this could have had more potential, instead of like an actual movie that's like people had a lot of time to work and write and think about these decisions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Say movie a 3, experience a 4, the last few moments a 5.
Okay.
I would say the main reason why it's a 5 is Jacob doing the Edward thing. That thing was crazy. That's the craziest thing that's happened in the series so far, and I love it. And the Valkyrie were kind of cool. They weren't as intimidating as the last ones, but I like how you could actually see them fighting instead of it being fucking blue and dark.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of like the whole like them burning the dude in the background while Bella's having her Harry Potter 5 moment.
Oh yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about? And then I remembered.
And Carlisle was like talking like we might need to change her.
Yeah.
And then Edward has to overcome. Like that was
that's
cooler,
all for the first
that
one.
was a cooler climax. God, the first one was just so much better.
Okay, well, so what'd you say out of 10 overall?
3 and then a
You
5.
said five. Okay.
So I guess it averages to a 4.
Okay. Well, so the first one, which also I was laughing during that because I'm looking at the time and so far this review's longer than the last one, so I think they're just gonna keep getting longer. I think the Breaking Dawn Part 2 might be an hour-long review.
Yeah, because we're gonna do a series.
So, anyway, I gave the first one I can't remember if it was a 2 or a 3 on the movie itself. As an experience, I gave it a 5 then. I said it came up to 5. This one, like I said, I like it better than the first one as a movie. I would rather watch this one. So, okay, if I gave that one a 2, then I'll give this one a 3.
Okay.
And then as an experience, I said at the start it was a worse experience even still. So I'd say 4 then. I'm going 1 point up on it being a better movie, 1 point down on it being a worse experience.
I think.
So then
Yeah,
I said
I
3,
gave the
4,
first one.
average 3.5.
I don't remember what I gave the first one, but I think as a movie I want to say a 5. But I kind of am not taking into account the cinematography shit and how blue it is. I just like the plot more, and I think it was paced better. This, towards the end, I was like, what has happened in this that has been like really cool and influential? Like in the first movie, there's so many iconic scenes.
That's true.
So I would say the first one I would say at least a 5, or a 4. I don't know, somewhere in between there. And as an experience, it grew on me, dude. I really like the first movie. Like a 7 or an 8. It was really
no
fun.
way, dude.
Dude,
no
there's
way.
so many
that
iconic
high.
things. Dude, I honestly can probably remember more of that Twilight movie after seeing it once than I can any Marvel movie that I have seen in years.
Okay, that's fair.
Like,
I will say that's fair.
I can't tell you a single thing that happened in Black Widow other than them falling out of the airship.
That's fair. That movie's not that
That's
good.
it. Love and Thunder, the only thing I can remember is the black and
Love
white
and Thunder's a
thing,
shitty movie.
and then
Anyway,
I Love You, I Have Cancer.
Love and Thunder suck. We talked about Love and Thunder in both of these reviews so far.
I hate that.
It sucks. It's a bad movie.
It's funny though. It's like Twilight.
Okay. Well, it's getting me excited to watch the rest. Legitimately, I want to watch the rest because I'm excited for the Volturi, dude. Like I said, I knew they were coming. Well, I didn't know they were coming in this one, but just in general, I knew they're coming soon. And now that I see it, I want more.
Why even introduce the werewolves when they're not used this that much in this movie, and it seems like they're just going to talk about the vampires more in the other ones?
That's true.
I feel like it's such a it's so annoying. I don't know.
That's all. That's all I have to say then.
I think the series has potential. This really hurt it in my eyes, but I still really like the first one a lot. It's bad. It's a bad movie. But
okay, by no means still is this good.
it's
by no
fun.
means, but it's fun. It's fun.
It's iconic.
It's fun. It's iconic. So it leads to a good experience.
It's like watching a Sonic 06 playthrough. It's like it's so bad that you're like.
It's bad. It's good.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, there's a 37-minute review. Stay tuned in for the next one. That's gonna be 45 minutes.
The next one we're gonna be reviewing that one while talking about the second and the first.
Yeah, that's true actually. So it is gonna be like 50 minutes, dude. All right, tune in for that.